Final driver here this morning is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He drives the number 88 Amp Energy 711 National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Comes in as the number 7 seed in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. He's got 1 win on the season. He's won here at Chicagoland Speedway before. Dale, talk about now. Got a clean sheet of paper. We got 10 races to go. Your thoughts as you enter the chase?
Yeah, just looking forward to getting in the car today and seeing how the car, responds out of the gate, and just kind of, focus on the weekend and what we need to do here in Chicago for this particular track. And, it all starts today, just trying to get in the car and going to work.
First question goes to Jay. Raise your hand, Jay, please.
Jay Hart, Yahoo Sports. Dale, probably heard what Jimmy just said right there at the end. Sort of, I'm sure everybody's waking up a little different this morning, knowing that Chicago's here and this is the start of the chase. So I guess I'd ask you, how'd you wake up this morning? How do you feel heading into this chase?
Well, I think I feel pretty good. Just ready to work on the car and do what we do. Not really. I don't really look at, try not to look at the chase as just one entity, really just kind of looking at each race and each track as a step-by-step process. And you can really only do what you can only really focus on this next practice, and what we need to do in that practice. And then in between practices, we'll try to talk about improving the car and then go into the next and final practice today, trying to make that as productive as possible, and that's what I'm going to think about today, and that's what I woke up thinking about.
Let's go to Marty and Shannon on the right side.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Dale, how would you describe what Tony Stewart did in 2011 during the chase?
I would describe it, just for kind of fascinating. He was. He was kind of, just like everybody else there throughout the regular season. And then when the chase started, they just had something, they just had speed and competitiveness that they hadn't had all year. And so it was really fascinating to watch. And, he carried it all the way through the chase, all the way to the last race. It was, I think it was, tribute to Tony being a hell of a race car driver, and I think Darian was doing a hell of a job putting everything he needed underneath the car. So it's just a great package.
Shannon
Spake, ESPN. Dale, I'm just wondering, why do you think, looking at your team internally, why do you think that you guys can win this championship?
We've been real consistent, more consistent than any other team. We put together points week in and week out that kept us in the top 3, top 2 throughout the season. Aside from Biffle and Matt and Jimmy, I think we all 4 of us are, really putting together the best weeks when you look at them and when you look at them in lumps, but when you kind of clump together weeks, we just kind of were more consistent, and I know that winning races is what won the championship last year, and I think that's definitely going to set some guys apart. But you got to pair it with consistency. You can't win 5 races and run in the back 5 races and win a championship. You got to pair it with consistency, and we got that part down, I think. So I feel like, it's a real competitive group of guys. There's nobody really stands out, and that's also an advantage too. So it's there for the taking.
Let's go to Bob. Raise your hand, Bob. And Nate.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. I know you said you weren't getting married, but that story made me wonder, is having a stable personal life, does that impact how you rate? Do you feel like any of your improved performance can be attributed to the fact that personal life is pretty stable these days?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I ran pretty good in 2004, and I was anything but stable off the racetrack. So I don't really know.
Let's go to Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Dale, the CBS thing you did the other day seemed to have drawn a lot of positive feedback and attention. And I don't watch it, but apparently they were saying on the show that it's a lot more introspective and personal than people usually do with that segment. What made you decide to be so confessional, and did you, was it hard to kind of produce it, and how do you feel like it turned out? Are you getting positive reaction from it?
I got a lot of positive reaction. I did it really from I did it mainly because of I'm glad I did it, but I probably wouldn't have done it on my own. I got a lot of influence and help to make the decision from Laura and the PR team that I got. It's probably nothing I would have volunteered to do, but I thought it was a good challenge, and a little bit outside the typical typical things we do, just a bit outside the norm, and I kind of like to try to do those things. When we had the opportunity to do the Rolling Stone magazine years ago, I thought that was even though I knew it was going to be in front of a lot of people that didn't know who I was, and that's very uncomfortable for me because I don't really venture into those kind of areas. I just knew it was something I needed to challenge myself to do, and I thought that this was the same kind of thing, and it was not easy to do, and I really don't like talking about myself, but I felt like it was, if anything, I could, make my mother happy. I thought she really enjoyed it, and I got a lot of good feedback on it. I'm glad that I did it, and when you write something like that and say the things that you say, you don't know how they're going to get received. But I looked at some of the other ones they did, and they were incredible. Some of the ones, note to selves that I'd seen, were inspiring as hell, and I guess too, I hope to be able to accomplish that. If I did or not, I don't know, but I was hoping to put myself in that category with the people that had done it before me.
Did you surprise your mom and your sister at all?
I don't think I surprised. I don't really know what. I think they just liked it. I think my mom appreciated it, the honesty.
Let's go over here to Mike. Raise your hand, Mike. Get him a mic there, Pat.
Mike Embry, Speed.com. Dale, how important is it for you to get a top 5 this week? I know a lot of guys have started the chase off badly and still won it. Is it real important for a good start this week for you personally?
Yeah. I mean, I think to help our confidence, to help my confidence, for us to feel like we can do this, we can win this championship. Coming out here on a solid note would do wonders for us.
Go here, Lee.
Lisa Spencer, Fox Sports. Could you talk a little bit about your sponsorship for 2013, where it all stands? From what I understand, there's still inventory available on the number 88, and if Dale Earnhardt Jr., the most popular driver in NASCAR, is having difficulty, filling out the inventory on his car, what does that say?
I don't think that I would say we're having difficulty. We have more demand than we have supply, pretty much. We got a good chunk of our races. We got a majority of the season with the Guard, and then Diet Mountain Dew has changed their Diet Mountain Dew is going to back off a little bit, and that makes it a bit of a challenge to fill that small of a gap. If it were a bit larger gap, it would be easier to fill. But every sponsor on the car wants to be the top guy, and it's a bit hard to work. It's a bit hard to have a top guy when you're trying to, when you're trying to work with multiple sponsors, and it's just a little bit of a balancing act. And I think that Hendrick and all their people there are just taking their time, sort of sorting out. We've got a lot of irons in the fire and some real good potential stuff going, and we just got to kind of decide which one's going to work out, which one we want to work with.
Stan, raise your hand, please. Right here, Pat.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. I want to follow up on Ryan's question to you. As you enter this championship chase, do you spend any time thinking about your dad's championships, and does he speak to you at all at any point?
No, I mean, I don't. Those are so many years ago, and I don't. I just look. I really bank on my own experience and what I did, and the mistakes I've made, and opportunities I've had, and that's really all I've been focusing on.
Got time for one more question. One more question for Dale. Anybody have another question? Jay, we'll finish it up with Jay.
Do you feel like this is your time to win the championship? I mean, is this obviously probably the best chance you've had since 2004? Do you feel like this is your time?
Yeah, I think this is the best chance I've ever had. I think even more than 2004. We had looking back on that year, I didn't realize how close we could have came or how good that chance was. We really were a strong team, maybe with the strongest team, one of the two strongest teams for sure in the series that year. And I think we're a more complete team now, where we run good at all the racetracks, or the majority of the racetracks with this group we've got today. And I feel like this is again, there's no dominant figure in the group that stands out, and that really builds our confidence that it's there for the taking. If we can put together consistent weeks, week in, week out, win a couple races, that we could be the champion, no question about it.
Dale, thank you for your
Thank you.
time, and good luck this weekend.
Okay.